Hi, this is Peter Stanley. Welcome to my channel. Today is August 8th, 2020, and this is my weekly pepper grow update. And I was doing these every 2 weeks showing the full grow, but I'm going to split it up and do a weekly update with just half the number of plants. So I'm going to show the porch peppers in the 3-gallon container on the drip system this week, and then I'll show my main drip plants next week, and I'll switch back. So anyway, let me show you the ones that are on or around the porch. All right, so this is the Kingstar Lemon Starburst in self-watering container getting mega crop. I'm getting a lot of fruits on it now. This plant is about 3 years old. I normally don't overwinter, but I'm keeping this one going year round. Basically, I prune it back to like sticks, basically, and then put it under a light, and it grows back new growth. But I'm getting some ripe pods. I've actually picked a few of these already, so these have just turned ripe in the last few days. This is the 27-gallon tote. It's a cracky setup, but it's a little different from a typical cracky because I've got a float valve inside to a reservoir, so when the nutrient level drops down to about here, it'll start feeding nutrients from this container, and that'll maintain a static level, so you don't have to worry about drowning the plant. If you refill it, it'll just maintain that one level. So I've got Reaper Tally on the right. I think I've got a few. Yeah, I've got a few little peppers there. There's another one, a couple. And this is a Kingstar Yellow, and it's got quite a few on it. Back over there. This is kind of another experiment. It's a 17-gallon tote, and these are just wicking out into nursery pots. You can see that one. I've got the other one coming out of the other side, but that's how they're doing. This is a Batman Big Bat Red. And I've got one starting to turn. Some of these have little stingers on them. That's really cool. I've got a chocolate bootless CS beside it. The Batman is probably doing the best plant on here. I've got the Sand Peach. I don't think has anything on it yet. Actually, it does have one, and I've got a Palmyra. It's kind of getting dwarfed. Yeah, there's. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Anyway, I've got a green Palmyra to eat. I've got this 7-pot West in a 2-gallon fabric pot getting mega crop. Really nice thick trunk. I've got some pods on it. It's just started to produce peppers recently. It's starting to take off. Looks good. Here's my 60-gallon pickle barrel. Cracky setup with master blend, and this is the Kingstar Linzo crossed with sangria. So sangria, and it's pretty loaded. A lot of ripe peppers, a lot of turning ripe, some still green. I want to pick a bunch of these, probably put them in the dehydrator soon. But yeah, the plant's doing really well. So I got a couple of Jimmy Johnson plants he sent me seeds for. SCNY crossed with Bubblegum 7. Just getting mega crop, nothing yet. This is a LLTS Boot Pheno. The seeds are Boot Pheno from the Boot Pheno pod. And growing another one that's got more of like a scorpion shape, but this has just started to produce. And this one I would say is actually more of the Boot Pheno compared to the other one I've got. Little pod there. And this is another mega crop fit plant. It's a chocolate goose jammy, and it has some pretty gnarly pods on it. There's a few on the back side as well. 3 self-watering containers. They're all getting master blend. I've got this really big Dragon's Breath that actually just put out a pod this past week. It's got a little tail on it. That's the first pot on that. This is a Bootla XP-F4. You can see the purple branches, kind of purplish leaves. It's got a pod, pretty purple pod there. And then this plant under it is a volunteer that was just in the potting mix I used. Popped up and I've let it grow, and it's growing kind of chinitz-like to me, but I don't know what it is yet, but it's got a few little blooms starting to form on it. So hopefully I get a pod before it gets cold and figure out what that is. This is a ghostly jalapeno. Pods aren't super big, but they're pretty plentiful. A lot of fruits on there. Bunch on this side. I grew it last year. It was very productive, so it's really good for powders. They don't really taste. I think they take on more of the Buchalokia trait. It's get pretty big. These are my 3-gallon plants. This is the white Bacchino, and I've got some starting to turn. There's right there. There's another one right over there. This is my peach Starkist. I'm getting fruits on it now as well. It's back in there. This is an ahi rainforest. I've got another one in the 5-gallon container. It's got a lot of fruits on it. That's how the fruits on the other one look. This is the Blue Christmas. I need to pick some of these ripe ones. I love this is probably my favorite ornamental plant. I always grow one, but the pods are beautiful, and they actually don't taste bad, but I grow more for ornamental value. But that's how those look. It's doing well. This plant was looking terrible for a long time, and it was really tiny and eaten up with bugs, but it started growing a lot here in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it's got some few little pods on it. This is a chocolate Naga brain, and a couple more there. This is another of the ACNY crossed with bubblegum, and it's a lot further along than the other one, and it's producing some peppers there. It's got some more. It's like it's going to be a pretty productive plant. So another one there. This is the Boot Solid Gold, and I think I've got the beginnings of a pod there, but this was another one that was set back really bad, and it's going through a big growth spurt, starting to produce. This is another from Jimmy Johnson, Primo Cross, not chocolate, and a lot of good growth on it. A bunch of nice looking pods in there. Pretty little bumpy, gnarly looking. Another one from Jimmy, MA Mutant X. This one had got attacked by one of the branches right here. It broke off. On the upper end of the stem there was a hole in it, and the whole branch died. And that was the branch that had a lot of pods, not fairly well developed pods. So I lost those, but this has got some small ones on it. This is the Thai Yellow Long. I've got another one in a 5-gallon. This plant's super, oops, I didn't break that off. Let me show you how these look. I suspect it's some kind of it's got to be some kind of a Thai hybrid, but it's, or it's just call it a Thai, but it's just something totally different. But all the pods are fairly large, and they ripen to a yellow-orange color. Orange-yellow, yellow-orange. But they do take kind of a while to ripen, but they're pretty productive. I think they make excellent powder. I tried one off the other plants. I'm going to try probably drying most of these. This is seeds labeled Pharia, but I've got 2 Pharia plants, and they don't look like the pictures of any I've seen, but so I think they're crossed. But this one's ripening to like an orange-red. It was more like a lighter orange, but it's turning this color. And the other one I've got, I'll show you next week, has more rounder shaped pod, not round, but not pointed, but they're kind of elongated, kind of blunt ended and more yellow. So I'm going to try both of them and see if I want to keep any of them going. This is a peri peri seeds I got originally from chili chumping. I saved my seeds that I grew up, and I've harvested quite a few off of this already. There's more turning. I got another plant as well. There. The plants so far I think are doing great compared to where they were. I had kind of a rough start this season, but I'm starting to get a lot of pods and some turning ripe. I'm real happy with it. Hope you like that. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.